Cowboys win 20-15 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And I still walk away from a Thursday night football game that failed to maintain my attention for most of it. Like C-Cat, and again, it's your boy Theo Dorsey. We're riding it out with you. My boy C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, per usual on a Friday here on Theoretically Speaking. Like, I don't know what your viewing setup was last night for Thursday night football. I decided going into that game, I knew the Cowboys and the Giants, these aren't playoff teams. These aren't teams that are going to matter come the end of the year. So I was like, you know what, baby? Looked at my wife, said, hey, you get the big screen. I'll watch Thursday Night Football on my phone, especially because it's on Prime Video. You just hop on the app. It was pretty easy. So I had Thursday Night Football going on my phone. We were watching Monsters. The story of the Eric and Lyle Menendez, the Menendez brothers, which apparently, C-Cat, you didn't know who the Menendez brothers were.
No, I thought this was something that's on HGTV where they also do property selling like the Property Brothers. Yeah. I had no idea.
To be fair, I said, yeah, we were watching the Menendez brothers, and C-Cat gave me that look of like, okay, like, why should I care? And I just assumed you would know who they were because the name does resonate a bit with me. It was before my time as well, but I'm a little bit older, and I guess that's where our that line of demarcation between you and I rely, because I am familiar with the story of the Menendez brothers, that it was two spoiled kids in Beverly Hills. They murdered their parents in the 90s in Beverly Hills, and now this is like, just like the Jeffrey Dahmer story that Netflix did, this is a sequel in that same rendition. Did you catch the Dahmer Monster series? I
watched a little bit of it. It kind of, I couldn't get through more than one episode because I can handle like weirdness and gore and violence. That was too much for me.
It was a lot.
I didn't watch that. I'm like, wow, I'm glad I watched that. I was like, do I got to keep watching this? This is bad.
Yeah, I watched all the way through, and I'm not usually a crime, NCIS or Law and Order type dude, but I watched the Dahmer one. It was a tough watch. It was a lot of really rough and vigorous scenes, very traumatic stuff. Got through it. The Menendez brother one is good as well. We got through like 3 episodes last night as I was watching Thursday Night Football. And this game was such a bore outside of a few huge plays. Malik Nabers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like that, when he crossed Buddy up and was standing there wide open, I saw somebody on Twitter say he looked like an outfielder waiting on the ball, waiting on a fly ball. That play, that got me out of my seat.
Yeah, I screamed at my television, how is he wide open? All of pregame, all the week leading up to this was, Malik Nabers is the Giants' offense. He proved it last week, so you got to imagine that the Cowboys are thinking, okay, looks like Daniel Jones is going to look for Malik Nabers on third down. It's third down. They need 10 yards. Who do they go to? Malik Nabers. And then they showed the replay where he injured a player. And a player's ego, a player's integrity, and their ankles.
I would prefer, and that was number 25 for the Cowboys. I won't say his name for the sake of his own family. I don't want the family name tied to what happened to him on that field. Like, I don't know. I would prefer to get ran over, like Derrick Henry truck sticked, than what happened to number 25 on the Cowboys last night when Malik Nabers just blew right by him with a double move. That was ugly. Looked like somebody chopped his knees right out from under him. And it was a simple double move, but that just shows you how prolific the Malik Nabers is. We'll get into my big 3 takeaways from Giants-Cowboys last night, but it couldn't even hold my attention for most of the game because I was simultaneously on the big screen watching the Menendez brothers story, which is actually very, very captivating, very well shot. Love the directing, love the produce. Some stuff is poorly produced, very low quality. This stuff it was really, really good. And we got 3 episodes in, and there were times when the Thursday Night Football game would go to break, and then I'd put it down for a second, and I'd be watching, the Menendez brothers stuff, and I would forget I was watching a football game. Like a good football game, when you go to a commercial break, you're like, damn, I can't wait to see what's going to happen on third down. But I knew with the Giants and Cowboys, I was like, yeah, well, Daniel Jones is going to throw the ball into the ground, and they're going to punt it.
And they're playing 3-down football. They're not going to go for it on 4th and short. Oh, yeah, and by the way, that number 25 on the Cowboys, you didn't want to dox, even though on live Prime TV last night, he got crossed over and hit the ground. The boy touched the earth. Yeah. Andrew Booth Jr. went to Clemson, went to Archer High School.
Oh.
Andrew Booth.
I know that guy. I don't know him, but I know who that is. I'm familiar with the guy's game.
Yeah, quarterback from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Hey, stop giving out his details.
Malik Nabers made him look like a JV football player in the Cowboys uniform. Good God.
The beauty in watching, and we get to cover some high school football here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Of course, ESPN West Palm Play. We give you the best coverage in this area. CCAT's going to be on the call for the game of the week. We got Central and Jupiter. You're going to be in Wellington tonight.
Good game.
The good thing about high school football, the best part about Friday Night Lights is you get to watch players do stuff like that, like on a daily basis. Like very often you see big plays where somebody dominates the other one, and you're right. He made him look like this was the high school level, and that was the D1 recruit who's going to be doing that on Saturdays and Sundays one day, except we're already playing on Sundays, and that is why I have to get to my big major takeaways from Thursday Night Football last night, because as boring as it was, as much of a drag as it was, there were some things to glean from it. As the Cowboys win 20-15, the Giants fall to 1-3, the Cowboys 2-2 on the year. Sneaky right here, 2-0 on the road. 2-0 on the road, those Dallas Cowboys. My three major takeaways from Thursday Night Football. Can I get some football music as I deliver these? Because I want to start with Malik Nabers. Since we were on that topic, he was going to be takeaway number 2. But I'm going to go number 1 right here just because that's seamless radio transition stuff here, theoretically speaking, as I give my major takeaways from Thursday Night Football. And starting off, number 1. Malik Nabers, not only is he the best wide receiver in this draft, he's going to be the best receiver in this league, like very soon. Malik Nabers, number 1 for the New York Giants, is going to be the best wideout in the NFL, and yes, the same NFL that has Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and so many others. CeeDee Lamb, who was on the other side of the field. I have never seen a guy in an offense that looks so incompetent, with a quarterback who is obviously a dead man walking, still look dominant. On 15 targets last night, he caught 12 balls, 115 yards. Like you said, C-Cat, we knew going into that game that their only chance at moving the chains, their only chance at looking like any kind of an efficient offense, of creating any kind of threat, was get the ball to number 1. And they still got the ball to him 12 times, and they probably could have got it to him more times if their quarterback wasn't so cheeks. That dude's going to be the best. Is that crazy? Is that too much of an overreach, especially given that we're only 4 games into this dude's career? He's just getting revved up.
It'd be easy for you to sit here and maybe come January say that, but I applaud your boldness.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great statement to make. If you can look like that type of receiver on this type of decrepit offense, that says a lot. Listen, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow lit it up his rookie year.
Yeah.
But there were other options on the Bengals, and that quarterback, Joe Burrow, as much as we poke fun of him in this year, 2024, he is a lot better of a quarterback than Daniel Jones. Same thing with Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had a much better quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and a couple other good targets in Minnesota when he popped on the scene. Malik Nabers, he's next up.
Let me give his stats right here. Through 4 games, Malik Nabers has 35 catches, 386 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's incomparable already. What's even more impressive about Malik Nabers so far, he has 3 games already where he has 10 catches and over 100 yards receiving. 3 games. 3 of his 4 games, he's had 10 catches and 100 yards receiving. That's X stuff. That's true number 1 wide receiver stuff. He's doing that on a team where literally there's no other options, but still that means the defense can game plan for you. And mind you, he's 1 game away from a rookie record. If he has 1 more game with 10 catches and 100 yards, well, we would assume he will. He did go out with a concussion. He'll likely be back. He already tweeted in the morning he's good. 1 more game, he ties Odell Beckham Jr. for the record. Another one after that, he has the record to himself. He's 4 games into his career. I don't think it's hyperbole to feel like this guy is destined to be the best receiver in the league. He's going to put up some Randy Moss style of games as well when he's able to get over the top of defenses. He's fast. He's strong. He's big. He's good after catch. He's good, tracking down the ball in the air. I don't really see where the flaw could potentially be in this game. And if you want to say he can't run a route, ask number 25. Like, he know good and well how good of a damn route runner Malik Nabers is. Yeah. I don't see the flaw, man, other than his own offense. Number 2. Takeaway from Thursday Night Football, Cowboys 20-15 win over the New York Giants. It's the other side of the coin on that. There's nothing Daniel Jones can do now to save his career. He's done.
His career. Not his career with the Giants.
No. His career. Daniel Jones is a dead man walking in the NFL right now. And I feel comfortable saying that because not only has he gotten every single shot to prove himself in the number one media market, he's doing so not with the Jets, not with the Panthers, but with a organization that we consider to be at least a competent organization in the Giants. He's doing so with Brian Daboll, who we believe to be a really good offensive play caller. Yes, was he a little conservative last night? Was he nervous? Was he scared? Yeah, he was. Well, that's because he has his ship tied to Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones even has a solid season, if he even has an above average season, if he's able to turn things around here, who do you think gets the credit for that?
Daboll.
It's either Daboll or Malik Nabers. It's not going to be DJ. Because we know he's going to, if there's going to be anything that good comes out of this offense this year, it's going to come with 200-plus targets to Malik Nabers.
So you think that the next time that we see Daniel Jones, Amazon Prime together, it won't be on the football field on a Thursday night in 2025. It will be Daniel Jones in a blue vest dropping off a head massager to you next year.
Yes, head massager, as well as an 8-pack of AA batteries and some toilet paper. Keep that on go. 2 times a month, Amazon Prime. I think that's his. Well, and I have nothing against Daniel Jones. I can say this because he already got his bag. He already got his bag. 4 years, $160 million. The Giants paid him too early. They were wrong in doing so. Now they are suffering from it. This is a marriage of convenience right now. The Giants are only trotting Daniel Jones out there at quarterback because they knew they had to pay him. They can't get off of his contract until this upcoming offseason in a way that will be healthy to both the organization and the future of the roster building for that franchise. So a marriage of convenience, just trot Daniel Jones out there, hope he doesn't get injured, and Daboll's going to try to make something of this offense, but you can already tell he's nervous behind the trigger. Daniel Jones right now, like, he can do some of the dink and dunk stuff, even though he'll miss on some of those as well. But on passes that go 20-plus air yards, which means the ball goes 20-plus yards through the air, not a 5-yard pass that somebody runs 15 yards up, but he throws the ball and it hangs in the air 20-plus air yards. He's 2 for 14 so far this year. That's
big boy quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a quarterback who is doing most of the heavy lifting on the throw.
That's like, I'm serious about this right now. Like, my offense is relying on me to move the sticks. I have a level of importance. You know what that is? That's quarterback that's getting paid $160 million over 4 years. You got to be able to connect on those. 2 for 14, 67 yards, and an interception so far through 4 games. It's a marriage of convenience. Daniel Jones is a dead man walking, and who the hell is going to take a risk on that guy who's both injury-prone, a turnover machine, and couldn't get things done with a true number 1 wide receiver in Malik Nabers, and someone who has proven himself to be a good play caller and a schemer in Brian Daboll. There's no reason why any team would take a chance on Daniel Jones other than to be a backup somewhere. And even that doesn't feel like a promising thing, because what is worse than not having your starting quarterback out there, knowing you got to turn around and put 8 out there?
I used to feel bad for Daniel Jones because I believed that he was overdrafted. And he was.
Yeah, he was.
But after a couple of years, you're just another veteran quarterback. Okay, that reputation, the hopes that people had for you, that organization had for you in a massive media market like New York, okay, it's hard to not live up to those hopes in your first couple of years. But this isn't your first couple of years anymore. You're getting paid that number of dollars for a reason. It's time to be that guy.
He's had more than enough shots at this point. And for Daniel Jones, I just don't see the route out of this, because even if things do turn around, he will not get the credit for it because we have a big enough sample size of who he is. This is not Sam Darnold. This is not Geno Smith. This is not Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones has had his opportunities with a competent organization, and he has failed. But at least he got his bag on the way out the door, and I hope he delivers my bags with Amazon Prime or DoorDash or whoever on time, because I like my stuff on time. I pay extra for that. Number 3 takeaway from Thursday Night Football.
Number 3.
Cowboys aren't a playoff team. I hate to end on a negative note again on a Friday, on a feel-good Friday here on Theoretically Speaking. I'm usually optimistic. I like to spread joy, spread love, and good energy. But I also don't want to get your hopes up. If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan or somebody that might have maybe bet on the Cowboys to win the division or to make the playoffs in general, You can go ahead and cut ties with that bread. You can go ahead and cut ties with those hopes. That's not a playoff team. It's absolutely not. They look like they were in the same weight class as the New York Giants. It was not supposed to look like a fair fight last night on Thursday Night Football between the Giants team, who is in the cellar of the NFC, who is literally they're wasting a season of football on Daniel Jones right now. And the Cowboys are supposed to be a squad that re-upped on their quarterback, re-upped on their number one weapon in CeeDee Lamb. I hope Micah Parsons' ankle is okay, but you got one of the top defenders in the league right now. And Mike McCarthy, who has led you to not one, not two, but 3 straight 12-win seasons. You were supposed to beat the dog hell out of the Giants last night on primetime television, and you struggled. You limped through that game. You scored 20 points. And don't give me any crap about this being a divisional game, so you can't, it's a divisional game on the road. I watched this same Giants team play that same Cowboys team twice last year. And the Cowboys dog-walked them both times, like they should have. Nothing has changed. The Giants lost Saquon Barkley. Sure, they gained Malik Nabers, but that didn't stop you from scoring 20 points. They lost the safety as well to the Packers. Forget his name. Doesn't matter right now. He wasn't there, and the Giants held the Cowboys to 20 points. Look at this. 6 points in the second half from that Cowboys offense.
It was pitiful. Run the dang ball. Learn to run the dang ball. Can't. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
The Cowboys, they can't run the ball.
Their identity used to be best offensive line in football.
Ooh.
It used to be that way. It used to be run the rock with Zeke. Run the rock with Tony Pollard. And they have not been able to do it.
Yeah. And not only have they not been able to do it, they can't stop the run on the other side. If you can't run the ball or stop the run, you have zero shot to win, not just in today's NFL, but really anytime. There was a little glimpse, right? There was a little blimp where people thought, you could just win by airing the ball out around all the time. That's gone away. That's the fundamentals of football.
Yeah. You see Devin Motor Singletary, no gloves, no armbands, no tape, no nothing, just absolutely raw dog in the game last night. I love that.
I love it too. The one thing I will say to Motor, we love him, local guy, American Heritage Stairway, FAU alum, all that. My boy, you have never been a speed guy. What the hell was he thinking when he bounced it outside, saw he had nowhere to go to the right, and he tried to turn around and run it back towards the left? Couldn't outrun a D tackle? What the hell was Devin Motor Singletary? You couldn't even do that crap in high school. I just am like, he ran like a 4.7, and he thought he was going to turn around and reverse the field like he was Reggie Bush. As soon as he turned around and started running the other way, I was like, man, just fall down. Mm-hmm. That was embarrassing. That was absolutely embarrassing. That's takeaway number 4 is Motor, what the hell has gotten into you? You are not Saquon Barkley. I think he's wearing the Saquon's number, right?
That feels wrong, but he is.
It's disrespectful.
It is a little. Give it a year or two, and Saquon didn't deliver that city really any wins, but he was definitely a diamond in the rough that was that Giants organization. But it feels weird turning on a Giants game and seeing a 26 and not be Saquon.
And I get it. That's Motor's number.
Yeah,
it's Motor's number. So respect to my boy, but come on, bro. You can't be rocking the 26 in the Giants uniform, trying to reverse the field and running that damn slow. It looked like he was running through the mud, running on the beach. But again, Motor's been good for them this year. He's been a good replacement back. Not last night. 14 carries, 24 yards. What's your biggest takeaway from Thursday Night Football? Mine, the Cowboys are not a playoff team. Daniel Jones is the dead man walking, and Malik Nabers he's destined. He's destined to be the best receiver in this league. And I already feel like between Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, and the rest of the bunch, even Xavier Worthy, the guy on my squad, the Chiefs, Malik Nabers is the best guy in that class. He just didn't have the name. He didn't have that Marvin Harrison name. He looks like the alpha of that class. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Your my 3 major takeaways from Thursday Night Football, but what did you walk away from last night's Cowboys win 20-15 over the Giants thinking? And please, here's where I'll really open it up. Please call in. If you had anything positive to say about the Cowboys from last night, please let me know. Because C-Cat and I were talking before the show here. We were like, was there anything the Cowboys showed you or did last night that made you think, well, never mind. I think they might have something cooking this year. We couldn't figure it out. It ain't there, outside of the fact that they snuck away with the win. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline on a Friday. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle, orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting BaptistHealth.net/ortho. CCAT, last night I felt like an irresponsible big cousin. I felt like a deadbeat. I felt like a terrible dude because as the Hurricane Helene was approaching, and of course it hit more of the Gulf Coast, it hit more of the west side of Florida, not over here in South Florida where we're at right now. We just got some residual storms. I got a text from a family member, one of my little cousins, Alicia, and the text was like, "Hey, just hoping that you and your wife are okay here through the storms, praying for safety, hoping everything is good. I know it's not hitting us as much down here in South Florida, but just making sure y'all are all good." And I was like, dang. Because my cousin just moved down here about a year ago. She lives in the Fort Lauderdale area, so she's in the South Florida area as well. She's my little cuz. She actually has a baby now, a newborn, like 6-7 months old. And I kind of felt bad because I was like, damn, was I supposed to like shoot that text to her?
Right. Yeah.
Like the onus was supposed to be on me to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. I never think about that stuff. There could be a tornado that rips through my childhood home, and I'll forget to ask my family if they're okay. So, like, I'm on your side here in terms of I never reach out.
I got to get better at that's part of maturing. That's part of being an adult. I do have to get better at that because it made me feel almost sick to my stomach. Like I told my wife Ashley, I was like, "Yo, like what do I do here? Did I screw up?" She's like, "Oh, it's not that bad. At least the hurricane wasn't. We weren't in like the impact zone."
Yeah.
So you know what I did?
What's that?
Then I thought about everybody I knew over there in like Tampa and whatnot. I shot them a text.
Gotcha.
I grew.
Conscience.
I grew from that moment. I learned, and it worked out for me. I reconnected with a couple buddies. I said, "Hey man, hope y'all safe up there. Y'all stay strong." And it looks like we had some minimal damage. It looks like we survived that thing. How did you watch Thursday Night Football last night?
I watched Thursday Night Football on my couch with some takeout Chili's, just kind of pigged out on a burger, and I almost fell asleep in the third quarter, and then I did fall asleep in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, it was really just melatonin for the eyes was Thursday Night Football for me.
It's rough.
And I couldn't help but think about how much of a coward Brian Daboll is, head coach of the New York Giants. 4th and goal from the 3. You're a big underdog in the game. No, we're going to kick the field goal to still trail in the football game. Like, this team frustrates me
nothing to lose either.
To no end. I root for the Giants. I like the Giants. They're my second favorite team.
Really?
I want the Giants to succeed, especially when Saquon was there because he's a Penn Stater. I root for the Giants because I have a lot of Giants fans in my life, and I want them to be happy.
And that was your first love, right? Before you went to the Ravens as a kid.
Grew up in New York, so I just picked the first team that was available in our broadcast area. So on Fox, I'd watch the Giants every time they came on. But the regime they have there in New York frustrates me to no end. They just give up.
Yeah.
They don't fight. It's frustrating.
Last night did feel like it was like as if they were settling for 3 and not going for it on 4th down, almost as if they were like the better team and they expected to just be able to get the stop on the other side and get the ball back. Whereas like, no, you're the team with nothing to lose. You're the team that should be trying to look for any kind of competitive advantage, which includes squeezing out any kind of modicum of an advantage on a 4th down conversion. You do have a dual threat quarterback in Daniel Jones. That creates certain advantages in the run game. I know the offensive line wasn't blocking well all night. You had Malik Nabers, who was literally shaking dudes to their knees, had dudes touching ground, early in the first quarter. Maybe you give him a man beater or something on a 3rd down or a 4th down. Daboll's a much smarter football mind than I am, but he's clearly either not confident in his own quarterback, which we do have some sound on him talking about Daniel Jones. We'll get to that. Or maybe he's just waiting out this season. Maybe he's just trying to, you know what it might be, C-Cat? We all know Daniel Jones is the problem. Brian Daboll is trying to do everything in his own possibility to just retain his job, to not look like the problem as well. If he goes for it on 4th down a bunch of times and they lose and miss it, They're like, yo, that was a terrible decision.
But I feel like if you don't get it, the blame will be looked at as a misplay from Daniel Jones as long as you put the ball in his hands.
I think here's the problem, though. I think Daniel Jones is so bad right now that he can make a good play call look like a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? Because, there's sometimes we criticize the play call, and then it's like, well, actually, this dude missed an assignment. Or this dude he made a poor read. Remember last year in the college football playoff, Alabama, Michigan, where there was the Jalen Milroe, the fourth down or second. I forgot what kind of conversion it was.
It sealed the game, I believe, in overtime.
Was it a 2-point conversion or was it a fourth down? I can't remember.
It was a fourth down, trying to score a touchdown to match Michigan.
It was like you had to get it.
Yes.
And the play call was a Milroe read option. Well, really what happened, and people criticized the play call from Saban or whoever the OC was, but really what happened was the lineman missed his block. And the D lineman walked in there damn near untouched and just stopped the run in the backfield. So it looked like a bad play call, but really it was bad execution. And maybe Brian Daboll was like, I ain't even going to give y'all a chance to make me look like an idiot. Hey, go out there and kick the field goal. Thursday Night Football, Cowboys win it 20-15. What's your biggest takeaway? And does anybody have anything positive to say about the Dallas Cowboys, who now improved to 2-2? We go to the phone lines here on Theoretically Speaking on a Friday, the Baptist Health Hotline, and we have Joe in Jupiter. Joe, it's a victory Friday for you and your Cowboys today. Is there anything positive you gleaned from that win last night?
Not at all. Nope. I call into the show for therapy, and you try to keep me from walking off the ledge.
Yes.
I'm a couple inches closer.
No!
I'm so sick of seeing Mike McCarthy hold that Denny's menu thing in front of his face like he's doing something. How many penalties can we have in one game and still win the game? I mean, have you seen our next 4 games? We're going to be 2-6 by Thanksgiving, I think. I hope not.
I was just about to give that. Here, how about this, Joe? I'm going to go through the next 6 games for you. You tell me which one you feel. Give me a confidence level 1 to 5 on each of them. So next game is at the Steelers. You have at the Steelers on October 6th.
Done. Nope.
Okay. You have the Lions at home after that.
Forget it.
The 49ers, you get a bye week. You get a bye week, and then you get the 49ers on the road.
That don't matter. That just gives us more time to think about bad plays. Forget it. Nope.
You're not going to win the bye? Everyone's going to win the bye.
You're going to win the bye, and then you go, okay, how about this? November 3rd.
We'll win the bye, but yes, okay.
Yeah, November 3rd at the Falcons following the 49ers game.
Well, we'll see how they do. Right now,
that's the one.
No, but we'll see how they do.
That's the one where you have a shot.
We might not win it. We might not win again until Thanksgiving. I think we play the Giants.
I was just about to say. That looks like the next winnable game there, Joe, and then you have the Eagles and the Texans at home the next 2. Joe, I appreciate you for even though you got a couple steps closer to the ledge, you still have not taken that leap, and we thank you for that. Stay with us, Joe. It's going to be a long football season for you, though. Thanks for the call. We're going to go to break. On the other side, we got our guy, Jonathan Zaslow, going to join us. He is going on a bit of a road trip.